This country took only 4 decades to turn the debris of defeat after World War II into the second most powerful economy in the world. Now the economy is in the doldrums and a crisis is shaking the banks and securities industries. With the revelations of bad loans, bankruptcies, and corruption, Japan Inc. has been humbled. And the tears of shame shed by the president of the country's oldest brokerage company as it failed reverberated throughout Japan and the world. Once again, this nation must remake itself. But this time, does it have the will or the way?
I think there is still a big gap among the Japanese leadership to understand the depth of the problem.
Miniko Sasaki-Smith, chief economist with the Tokyo branch of Credit Suisse First Boston Securities, says Japan's strong economy was to some degree an illusion. Instead of promoting a free market and competition, the government was nurturing favored industries with tax exemptions and trade barriers.
Well, it's a very natural outcome of any catch-up economy. When you catch up, you almost need a government to give us special exemptions and protection. And Japan was just a little too comfortable with that notion. But when economy grows, like when your children grow up, you have to let children make decisions on their own. Instead, Ministry of Finance tried to control it.
Inari the fox is the Shinto god of commerce and money. In the decades after the war, the fox god seemed to smile on the Japanese. Many made fortunes as real estate and stock prices soared in the so-called bubble economy. The banks lent money and people borrowed it as if that which went up would never come down. And when it did in the early 90s and the loans went sour, the banks didn't call them in or write them off. They went right on lending cheap money on risky ventures. The official total is now more than $100 billion in loans that have little chance of ever being repaid.